Hey, this is CG1, and thank you so much for joining me once again. I want to talk to you about a virtue that seems to be lost in our society. I don't know whether it's intentional, but it just seems to be something that we don't chase after too much, or we don't talk about a lot or enough. See, especially in our society where we're so feeling driven, where we talk about this messaging of living by how you feel. And I'm all for feelings. Before you start accusing me of just bashing feelings, I'm all for feelings, but for the important decisions in life, for the things that you don't feel like doing but you know it's right, you have to put feelings aside. Man, I don't always feel like doing what I need to do. I don't always feel like practicing the right things. But when it comes down to it, whether I feel like it or not, I need to do the right thing. And that brings us to the virtue of faithfulness. I want to talk to you about being faithful, because it's quite interesting. We've entered October and we talk about Black History Month and a lot and celebrate Black history. And interestingly enough, one of the people that really inspires me is Nelson Mandala, because he really lives up to what it means to be faithful and what faithfulness is really about. Here is a person who had deep and powerful principles, that he believed that whether you are black or white, you're equal. And in the world, or in a society where people are treated inferior based on the color of their skin, he stood up to the evil system of apartheid and said that regardless of what's going on, regardless of the circumstances, this is what I believe. And it is so sad, but at the same time it's so powerful, because this man, regardless of the fact, regardless of the circumstances, that because of what he believed in, because of his convictions, he knew, and he unfortunately or fortunately went into prison for as long as I've actually been alive. For the same amount of years that I've lived, he spent in prison. And that's unbelievable, because he knew that standing up for his principles, not living, because he must have not felt like doing it. He must have got those times when he's like, oh man, this is going to cost me 27 years of my life. Can I actually do it? But because of his faithfulness, because of his consistent steadfastness, because of his consistent loyalty to this thing that he believed in as equality, he went in prison and came out victoriously. There is a person who was faithful. There is a person who done right regardless of the cost. And so this is a very important lesson, to understand that faithfulness goes beyond the boundaries of your circumstances or situation. As the dictionary rightly defines it, to be a consistent loyalty that to someone or something regardless of your circumstances. And this is what Nelson Mandela lives and leaves a legacy for. That regardless of what it cost him, these were his convictions and he stood by it. So I want to ask you, are you living a faithful life? Standing up for what is right regardless of the circumstances? Living not by how you feel, living not by the majority, what the majority says, but living by what you know to be right and true. Because to be faithful is doing the right thing over and over and over again, regardless of your circumstances or your situation. I challenge you that if there's any virtue that's worth practicing, it is the virtue of faithfulness. Where you live not by how you feel, where you live, not based on what the majority says, but where you live based on your deep convictions of what is true and what is right, and doing it all the time, not sometime, but all the time, because you recognize that greatness and success comes to those who act not sometime, but all the very time. This is CG1, and you have the seed of greatness.